Hebrew Language Basics, the alphabet. The Hebrew alphabet is made up of 22 letters. This list or chart provides the letters in their order, their names, their numerical value, and what they sound like in English letters. If you've already gone through just Hebrew reading, you know the sound that the letters make, and you can obviously recognize what the letters look like. Now we're adding names to these letters and the numerical value of these letters. So this letter, which is a silent letter, we learn is named Aleph. And in English letters, Aleph. And so we have the full list of all the letters Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav. In academic circles, this letter is known as a wow and pronounced as a w. Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud. In academic circles, it's called a yod. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, in academic circles, Tzadei, Kuf, in academic circles, Kof, Resh, Shin, and Taf. And the order is important because each one of these letters has a numerical value, which we will discuss later on in this unit. Some issues about the alphabet. The names of the letters are given as they are named in the alphabet. And since the alphabet has no diacritical marks around them and it's just straight letters, there is only one bet in the Hebrew alphabet and not, as you may have learned, two letters, bet and vet. Three letters are pronounced differently depending on whether or not they have a dagesh or dot in them. Those letters, marked with an asterisk, show the sound of the letter without a dagesh. The letter shin may be pronounced as sh when the diacritical dot is on the right arm and s when the dot is on the left arm. Again, because there are no diacritical marks in the alphabet itself, there's just one letter, shin, and that is the way it is named. 5 letters have final forms. We have kaf, mem, nun, and nun as it appears at the end of a word, pei, and pei as it appears at the end of a word, and tzadi. These letters, these final forms of these letters, because they are at the end of the word, add to their name the word sofit, which means final. So, for example, this letter is called kaf sofit, and this mem at the end of the word is mem sofit. Nun at the end, nun sofit, pei sofit, and tzadi sofit. In academic circles, some letters are named and pronounced differently, and where that is so, that is provided in the chart as the secondary name for that letter, which we have already gone through. The sounds that I provided for the letters are reasonably close to what you would see in English. In no way is this meant to be scholarly or academic, but if you're interested in specific transliteration schemes, both academic and otherwise, then you can check out my Hebrew Language Basics transliteration unit on my channel. The alphabet is numbers. The letters of the alphabet can also be used as numbers. This is obviously based on their order in the alphabet, so that Aleph is 1 and Bet is 2 and so on. So Aleph to Yud provide the numbers 1 to 10. The teens are composed of Yud and the units letters. So for example, to make 12, we take the Yud, the 10, and the Bet of 2, and we end up with Yud Bet as the number 12. Relatively simple, except for 2 problems. The number 15, one would expect then, would be Yud and Hey, and the number 16, Yud and Vav. But as words, these can also be the names of God. And so to avoid the prevailing use of Yud Hey and Yud Vav as numbers, Hebrew has come up with a different form using 9 and 6 for 15, Tet and Vav for 15, and Tet and Zion, 9 and 7 for 16. Kaf to Kuf provide the numbers 20 to 100, and Resh to Tav provide the numbers 200 to 400. We've now come to the end of the alphabet. How do we get beyond 400? Well, the numbers 500 to 900 are combinations of 400 plus, so that 500 becomes 400 plus 100, Taf and Kuf, 600, Taf and Resh, and so on, till we get to 900, Taf and Kuf, 400, 400, and 100. To get to 1,000, we go back to an Aleph or a Bet, an Aleph being 1,000, Bet 2,000, and so on, and these are used as prefixes to the numbers. How do we use these numbers? Letters are used in Hebrew as numbers to designate page numbers in classical Jewish texts and chapter and verse in the Bible. They are also used to designate dates and years according to the Jewish calendar. The sign of a number, when it is often an apostrophe called a geresh, when the number is just a single letter, and a double apostrophe called gershayim, put between the last two letters in the series. That will tell you that this is a number and not a word. Let's go take a look at how this works. If we want to describe in Hebrew Genesis chapter 2, verse 21, it would be written in Hebrew as Bereshit, the Hebrew name for the book of Genesis, Bet, which is the number 2, chapter 2, Kaf Aleph being verse 21, and these letters as numbers are named Bet, Kaf Aleph. The Jewish year 5781 is expressed as Ha Tashpa. Here you see the Geresh for the 5,000 and the Gershayim, the two apostrophes, in the series of number of letters as numbers. Most often, this prefix, this 5,000, is omitted, and so we end up with just the abbreviated form of the year or the number Tashpa. This is called the Lifrat Katan, which means according to the short form of the letter. Instead of saying 2021, we would simply say 21. And the same thing works in Hebrew, leaving off the larger number at the beginning. You may see this as an abbreviation after the date, looking like this. These two apostrophes now telling you this is essentially initials, Lifrak Katan, and so the year will show up as Tashpa. Another interesting aspect of the Hebrew alphabet is the issue of gematria. This is the game of transforming words into numbers and then seeing numbers into words for their hidden meaning. We'll see how this works from these three examples. The Jewish year 6511 was in the Gregorian calendar 1851, and 6511, when put into letters, becomes this word Taki, which is 400, 100, 10, and 11, 6511. The problem with the word Taki is it means you will vomit. And as it turns out, the period following the revolutions of 1848 in Europe it's not a particularly auspicious time for Jewish rights. So it spoke volumes. However, 5611, also in the gematria, can be this word, tikva, 400, 100, 6, and 5. Again, 6511. But tikva is a word which means hope. So one can look at this period following 1848, the specific year 6511, as being one of great tribulation for the Jewish people in Europe, or a year of great hope. A second example is in the word chai, the Hebrew word for life. And the numerical value of the word for life is 18. It is customary among Jews then to contribute to charity or to provide monetary gifts in multiples of 18, with the implied and wish of expressing long life to the recipient. A third example is in the Chanukah Siviv, or in the Chanukah dreidel. Engraved on its four sides are the letters Nun, Gimel, He, Shin. And if we look at the numerical value of Nun, Gimel, He, Shin, we come up with 53, 5, and 300, which is 358. Now the Gematria game says, let's go see if there's another word that also has the numerical value of 358 and see if there's any kind of connection that we can make. And lo and behold, when we find another word with the same value is the word Mashiach. 40, 300, 10, and 8, 358. And so one can draw a connection between the events that the holiday of Hanukkah celebrates and a Mashiach, that is, some leader who comes in and provides salvation and rescue from the terrible plight that the Jewish people are in. I want to do a review of the alphabet because it's very important that you learn the names of the letters and that you learn their order. One thing that you should know about as you've gone through the Just Hebrew reading program and recognize the sound of the letters is that the name of the letter is the first sound of it. So for example, this letter B is called a bet, and this letter G is called Gimel, D Daled. Down here Z Zayin, Ch Chet. And so by knowing what the sound of the letter is, you can then proceed with the rest of the sound that gives you the name of the letter. You'll notice as well that letters that have two syllables in their name are mil'el. That is, their accent is placed on the first part of their name. So for example, this is Aleph, Gimel, Dalet, Zayin, Lamed, and so on. The other thing that I want to point out to you is because the Hebrew alphabet was probably the first and oldest alphabet and lent its influence to later alphabets, the Greek and so on, that the order is somewhat similar and related to what we have in English. In fact, Aleph Bet gives us the name alphabet, and it's really not from the Greek, but in fact from the earlier Hebrew. So, you will see, for example, that from Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet, A, B, C, D. Or this order from the Yud, or J, or Y, J, K, L, M, N. Or beginning with the Kuf, Q, R, S, T. This may help you in learning the order of the letters of the alphabet and some of their names. Let's do an alphabet review. I'm going to give you a letter, and you're going to give me the next four letters that follow it. So this first letter is a Aleph, and the next four letters are right, Bet, Gimel, Daled, Hey. This letter is a Hey, and the next four letters are Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet. This is the letter Yud, And its next four letters are Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun. Samech. Good. And its next four letters are Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf. This is a Resh. And the last two letters are Shin and Taf. So now we have the full alphabet going from Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Taf. Let's do some more practice. I'm going to give you the letter. You're going to tell me. You'll tell me the letter, and you'll tell me the next four letters after it. This is a Gimel, and the four letters after it are Daled, Hey, Vav, Zayin. This is a Lamed, and the four letters after Lamed are Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin. This is a Tzadi, and the four letters after Kuf, Resh, Shin, Taf. Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yud, Kaf. A Pei, followed by Tzadi, Kuf, Resh, Shin. And now we're going to do some additional practice looking at random letters. Line 1. Bet, Chet, Shin, Kuf. 2. Tet, Lamed, Mem Sofit, Vav. 3. Ayin, Samech, Zayin, Yud. 4. Aleph, Nun Sofit, Tzadi, Pei Sofit. 5. Taf, Tzadi Sofit, Kaf, Nun. 6. Mem, Pei, Kaf, Kuf. 7. Yud, Vav, Nun Sofit, Tzadi. 8. Daled, Hey, Kaf Sofit, Resh. 9. Gimel, Ayin, Zayin, Vav. 10. Samech, Mem Sofit, Beit, Kaf. 11. Shin, Ayin, Nun, Gimel. And 12. Tzadi, Ayin, Lamed, and Tet. Now we're going to take a look at the numerical value of some of these letters. So We'll start off with, I'll give you the name of the letter, you tell me the number. Bet, 2. Chet, 8. Shin, 300. Kuf, 100. Tet, 9. Lamed, 30. Mem Sofit, but it will show up only as a mem, 40. Vav, 6. 3. Ayin, 70. Samech, 60. Zayin, 7. Yud, 10. Line 4. Aleph, 1. Nun Sofit, 50. Tzadi, 90. Pei Sofit, 80. Number 5. Taf, 400. Tzadi Sofit, Tzadi is 90. Kaf, 20. Nun, 56. Mem, 40. Pei, 80. Kaf, 20. Kuf, 100. Number 7. You tell me the letter and its number. Yud, 10. Vav, 6. Nun Sofit, 50. Tzadi Sofit, 90. 8. Dalet, 4. Hey, 5. Kaf Sofit, 20. Resh, 200. 9. Gimel, 3. Ayin, 70. Zayin, 7. Vav, 6. Number 10. Samech, 60. Mem Sofit, 40. Beit, 2. Kaf, 20. 11. Shin, 300. Ayin, 70. Nun, 50. Gimel, 3. Tzadi, 90. Ayin, 70. Lamed, 30. Tet, 9. So, this concludes the alphabet unit in Hebrew language basics. If this is your first step to learning Hebrew, your next step is going back to the channel and opening up Just Hebrew Reading Introduction. And that will teach you how to pronounce the letters and the vowels and how to begin your reading fluency program. But there's more on this channel, and you can subscribe directly and get notices of new videos as they appear, or you can put into your YouTube search Just Hebrew Reading or JHR unit, followed by the number of the unit that you want to explore. Or you can put in HLB and then the word or what you want to work on, such as accents, dagesh, vowels, transliteration, and more. I do appreciate getting your comments. In fact, they're very necessary for me so that I can make this better for you and for people who come after you. So I really do appreciate you getting in touch with me, either by adding your comments to a particular video's page or emailing me at just.hebrew@gmail.com. I really appreciate you getting back to me, and I really appreciate your exploring this channel. So I wish you great hatzlacha, great success. Thanks for being here, and look forward to seeing you at other places. Bye.